Hey guys, it's JJ. Welcome back to the Texans franchise, where we just completed free agency and we have a team now that I would go into the season with without having any fear to not be able to win the Super Bowl. Like, this team is good as is. I think if we traded away all of our picks and didn't pick anybody at all, I don't think we would have a problem this season. But we need to do something for the future. We have 2 first-rounders, not our own one though. We invested that in Angelo Mendoza, the quarterback. But we've got 2 first, 2 second, 3 thirds, 2 fours, 1 5th-round pick, 2 sixes, 2 sevens, and then our just regular slate of 7 picks from next season. So this is our draft capital, and I hope we can do something. There's a few positions where we need to pick somebody up. So I'm gonna show you players that I'm interested in right now. 21-year-old left tackle Derek Beasley is an awesome athlete. His pass block though, C, pass block power, D, not great for a top 5 pick. So probably not gonna pick him up anyway because I can't get him, but even if I did, I'd be a little bit scared. LaShawn Galloway, really good athlete, just solid strength, but really good athlete overall. And he has really good ratings across the board. That run block finesse worries me a little bit, and the F injury. But I just hope it's not that bad. And then projected 2nd to 3rd round pick, Jeremiah Stevens, 21-year-old. Left guard is really good athlete. He's not as injury prone, but his pass blocking across the board it's not excellent, so kind of meh on him a little bit. Aaron Parrish, 22 years old, right guard, really good athlete as well, great strength and elite acceleration. His pass block rating BBD is not awesome, but I guess it's good enough. Right tackle Dave Williams, projected to go top 5. He's 22 years old, out of Texas A&M. Unbelievably great athlete. Unbelievably good. Has a few weaknesses, but he's not injury prone at all. And apart from the 2 power ratings, I feel like he is one of the best players in the draft. And I would love to pick him up, but we are not picking even close to where he's gonna go. Eric Barber is a defensive tackle. It says right end here, but he's a defensive tackle with elite strength. He has A block shed, but only C power moves, D finesse moves. So not a great fan of him. I am not looking for just a nose tackle. Defensive tackle DJ Ballard, 22 years old. Also elite strength and poor speed, same thing here, but he has B power moves instead of C, so I'm a little bit more excited about him, but he is injury prone, D to F, so that's not great. Michael Clifford, he is the one guy that I am like, yeah, this guy is too good to be true, but he's also gonna go probably top 10, so I'm not sure if I can pick him up. Great athlete. A power moves, C block shedding, C finesse moves, A play rec. You just know he's going to be good. He has no weakness, and he is A to B on the injury scale, so he's going to be an awesome player. Orlando Daniels, 21-year-old power rusher, defensive tackle with good strength and elite speed. B power moves, B block shedding, B finesse moves, A play rec, B injury. I don't know what could go wrong with him. He looks amazing. Jerome Tompkins, another defensive tackle, 21 years old. He is kind of the same profile, also a really good athlete. His strength is not that great, but still a really good athlete. A power moves, B finesse moves, C block shedding. So he's kind of as good as Daniels there, but his block shedding is a C and his power moves is an A instead of 2 B's, so kind of a trade-off there. Nick McAllister, a middle linebacker, elite speed, good strength, good acceleration, really good athlete. And he knows how to stop the run. He has only one weakness, and that's catching. So not worried about that at all. He's going to be good to go day one. Blair Izzo, 23 out of Boston College. And we love our Boston College receivers. Luke Kuechly. Acceleration good, speed elite, strength good. Really good athlete as well. And you even know that he's going to be a good cover linebacker as well. And he doesn't have any weakness at all, I think. So he's good to go day one as well. But both of those safe first round picks, I think. Nick Goodrich, he might fall to the second round. Also has elite speed. And good excel, good strength. Also really good in coverage. Only weaknesses here are, I guess, finesse moves. I'm fine with that. James Bautista, 21 years old, good speed, good excel, marginal strength. So he's not as great an athlete as the other ones, but he is going to be picked probably lowest, at least from the projected board. But you just know he's going to be good. Man coverage is there, block shedding is there, awareness, hit power. Yeah, he's great. And then we also are looking for maybe another corner. Damian Howard is the top guy on the board. Good excel, good speed, great strength. So I feel like that's already a good athleticism to put in the slot, because that's the position we need to fill for the future. But he has only C zone coverage and C press, so that's not great. Tony Poole, 6'2", 199, 23 years old. So he's a little bit on the older side, but he has at least good speed and great strength. Not too worried about his athleticism either. He has B press and B zone, but only C man coverage. And yeah, not super sure that he's the guy. Matthew Duval, 5'11", 185, 21 years old. He is the ideal size profile I'm looking for. I'm looking for a slot corner, and he has great excel and great speed. His zone and press are C's though, but he doesn't really have a weakness. I think he's gonna be great. Victor Porter, he is 6'3", 181, 21 years old. Solid speed. So he's not the greatest athlete, and he is a little bit too big for the slot. C zone coverage, C press, C to D injury. That's not ideal, but let's jump into this draft. We are picking number 17 here, and I already have a plan from all those players. So the sad part is, as much as I love Clifford, he's gonna be really good, but he's also, like, I would have to spend another first round pick. Like, I would have to package probably both my first round picks up to trade up and get him. So first overall, it's a quarterback, no surprise there, and then 2 tackles, the 2 best tackles, no surprise there. Ben Amaro, best pass rusher, no surprise there either. Love all of those prospects. Luke Taylor, that's a surprise, because I didn't feel like he had it. I do not feel like he's a great quarterback prospect, but they pick him. And then at 6, it's Josh Branch to the Lions, who are apparently replacing Eric Bayless. And then a pass rusher, which I was not too excited about, at 7 to the Chargers. And then at 8, Michael Clifford, already gone to the Colts. So that's exactly what I meant. He's going at 8, and our first pick is at 17. I would have had to spend so much to go get him. And then McAllister even goes top 10, so he's gone. Bobby Spriggs, another good pass rusher, goes at 10 to the Commanders. Another solid pass rusher at 11 to the Cardinals. So at this point, I'm like, okay, there are so many defensive tackles in the like first to second round range that I could attack with our later first round pick, that I'm like, okay, let's go take my favorite cornerback, which is Matthew Duval. And here the first cornerback goes, only 1 pick left, and there he goes. 1 pick before I was on the clock. Matthew Duval out of DBU goes to Pittsburgh. That is so disappointing, especially also because Mach 5 suggested that he would go like late 20s, and he goes there at 16. So now I was like, okay, my favorite corner is gone, and all the other corners, it doesn't really matter which one I take. I might as well just wait till the second round. So I traded away this pick traded down and got a future first in the process to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Our Super Bowl opponent, by the way, who trade up from 31 here to go get Byron Ash, a really good guard. Also, I was still looking at a left tackle, LaShawn Galloway, who was one of my favorite options, but he was still on the board and I didn't want to trade up for him too much. Now, I just saw a defensive tackle, James Sheard, go, so I was like, okay, now I gotta trade up to pick my next favorite defensive tackle. Trade up by 8 spots, spend a 3. Didn't even have to give up a second rounder, and then a 6, which doesn't really matter, to go up and draft my defensive tackle that I wanted. Orlando Daniels, 6'1", 305, 21 years old. He is good at everything. And he is a really good athlete. He has 35 reps on the bench press, and he can run. He can chase down somebody. B power moves, B block shed, B finesse moves, B injury. Really no weakness, and A play rec. Really excited about him. And he has sadly only normal dev. But 87 strength, that's more than good enough. I like that. And we get the favorite guy out of the way. Now, the Vikings have a really good tackle situation, so I was okay with simulating this next pick here, and they take Keenan Brown, another defensive tackle that was heavily injury prone, and I did not attack him at all, even though I know he was going to be good. And then the Packers, they need a tackle, and the left tackle as well. So I was, no, I'm going to trade up here, spend another 3rd round pick here, and try to go get my tackle. And the bar is almost filled out, so I guess we have to add like a 6 or a 7. Let's add Mr. Irrelevant pick here, and I hope this is gonna do it. And it does. We are trading up here with the Packers, climbing up by 9 spots and getting LaShawn Galloway, 6'5", 322, 22 years old, out of Michigan. I really like that he also doesn't get flagged much, so I feel like he's got that one trait. Solid strength, great acceleration, so he can move a little bit, good speed, and I like his ratings across the board, except from that run block finesse. That doesn't look great. And the injury rating, obviously, but this is the only tackle I liked that has good enough strength. All the other tackles in this range had horrible strength, but we got hidden dev, so already won that pick. 86 strength. That is exactly like the low point. I want at least 85, 86, 87 strength on a tackle or a guard or a center. Well, a center depends. But like guards and tackles, you have to have at least a little bit of strength. And I feel like all the other tackles in this range had like poor or marginal strength. So I'm not excited about that. And yeah. Now we have a defensive tackle and a left tackle. And my favorite corner is gone. So linebacker was still an issue because we have 2 linebacker contracts coming up this year. And there goes Blair Izzo to the Bears. So he's gone. And the other 2 linebackers are more like 2nd round picks. This is the top tight end. Really liked him as well, but we don't need a tight end, obviously. So yeah, cornerbacks start going. And Tony Poole goes here. I liked him a lot as well, but he was 6'2", 199. And I didn't really like his change of direction ability. So I was looking at a different option a little bit further down the board. Rayshon Anthony, by the way, is a tight end that I really liked. And I knew he was going to be good, but we don't need a tight end. And then Eric Farley, a linebacker that looks really good for the Jets. And then a quarterback to the Broncos. And there goes the 3rd of the 4 middle linebackers that I liked. And that was my strategy. Wait till either Goodrich and Bautista or Bautista goes, and then take the other one. And I knew that the 49ers still had Fred Warner, so I wasn't afraid of them. So I waited one more pick and then trade up with the Saints here. 10 spots, offer them a 4 to get the deal done. And I hope this trade works out. And it does. So now let's go get James Bautista. So we have a little bit of flexibility in case Jamie can too. Or, what's our other middle linebacker? Lost him on his name. Until either one of those, if either one of those wants too much money, we're set for the future here. Bautista has good speed, good acceleration, only marginal strength, but I'm fine with that. A awareness, B block shed, B man, B tackling, A hit power. Really no weakness apart from that that power moves rating, but he looks really solid. 87 speed, 88 excel. He has some range over the middle, and he's only 21 years old. And picking a Georgia linebacker, well, can that ever go wrong? Nah, I really like this kid. So I'm happy with that pick. So we got now a defensive tackle, a left tackle, a linebacker, and now we're needing a corner. But I also wanted to tap into the other defensive tackles. And there were still a couple on the board that I liked. It's Tompkins and Ballard goes right here. So this was kind of like the wake-up call. Okay, Ballard's gone. There's only one good defensive tackle left that I liked. So let's trade up here. And I couldn't even believe that that trade got through. Just for a 4, we trade up 23 spots. But we got it done. And it's time to pick up another defensive tackle. And I hope Jerome Tompkins is worth it. 6'2", 295, also 21 years old. And he's a really good athlete. But the strength rating is not going to be great. What I'm really excited about here, though, is A, power moves, and B, finesse moves. This kid knows how to pass rush. A, play rec, B, awareness. It can't be that bad. And he has 86 strength. Fine with that. Only normal dev, though. So no hidden dev on this guy either. So kind of gotten unlucky. But I wanted to double down on defensive tackle because there was so many options. And I struggled to get one in the last few drafts, so I had to do it this time. Kid is also a little bit injury prone, but I think we're gonna be fine on that front. And then Victor Porter goes. He was the one guy that I liked, but didn't really fit what I'm looking for right now. Like if I didn't have 2 superstar corners right now on the roster, I would have definitely picked him up. But this is, by the way, Heisman winning wide receiver Anton Sutton going to the Raiders. And then Larry Smith goes, and that is yet another corner. And now I'm getting to, I get a little bit scared now. There is still a couple more corners on the board that I liked, and here goes Lance Birch. So now it's down to the last guy that I really like. And we're trading up from the 3rd round, offering them 2 5th rounders. And I hope that's going to get the deal done. 24 spots to make up. Should be enough. And we get it done. We trade up back into the 2nd round to make a 3rd 2nd round pick. And this is JT Lindsay, 6'1", 181. This kid is sadly 23 years old, so he's a little bit older than I like. But he has great acceleration and great speed. So his speed is going to be like 93, 94 something. Not great press rating. The zone coverage we don't know anything about. But this is kind of the last resort. 93 speed, no hidden dev. I think this is fine. I'm okay with that, especially with the athleticism. I feel like his skill set is good enough to play slot. But he won't have to do it this year, and he's a really good athlete. So yeah, we missed out on Matthew Duval. That really, that's not great. I really like Duval, but sometimes you just luck out. Now the last piece I wanted to get was that left guard, and he was like 2nd to 3rd round pick, and there were still a couple of guards above him, so I was not afraid to sim a little bit here. Our next pick is in the 6th round, so we would have to trade some future capital, so I didn't want to spend another 2nd round pick here, and that's why I Yeah, trade it down a little bit. Mike Monroe, the tight end here to the Bears. Really good guy. He's a good athlete as well. Thomas Clay to the Bengals. He looked solid as well. And there he goes. Gone to the Chiefs. Jeremiah Stevens, not on the board anymore. So now I was content to just skip ahead to the 6th round and then just pick a couple players that I like. We had 2 more picks left here. I had found this edge rusher. He was the last guy left here on the favorites board. There's only 1 guy left, and he has good excel, good speed, good strength. I like the athleticism. And yeah, he's marked as a linebacker, but he is an edge rusher, and he has B power moves and A to C finesse moves. So I am kind of excited about that. B power moves in the 6th round. I think that's good. And then he doesn't have F block shedding. He has a C, so that's good enough too. I like this a lot. And then the finesse moves. Well, he's a power rusher, so it's not going to be an A. But if it's a B, very good. If it's a C, I'm fine with that. The athleticism is on display here. He does have normal dev as well. Couldn't get lucky with hidden dev this time around, but whenever I pick defense in this Texans franchise, I apparently never can get hidden dev. And then we have a 7th round pick. I didn't have anybody on my board anymore, but I found this 21-year-old receiver who has great acceleration and good speed. So really excited about his athleticism. B short route running, A to C medium route running, and in the 7th round, I'm fine with picking a kick returner that can play a little bit slot in case AJ Lincoln gets hurt. 92 speed, 93 acceleration, 92 agility, 91 change of direction. This is more than good enough. I love this kid. He's gonna see the field, probably not at all, apart from kickoff and punt returns, but in case AJ Lincoln goes down, I think it's good to have an insurance because most our receivers are actually outside receivers. So let's go to check out our prospects, and this was the first major disappointment. I did not think that Orlando Daniels was going to be a 70 overall. His awareness really drags it down. I feel like if his awareness was a little bit better, we'd be gold. But 79 power moves right off the bat, good enough. I'm fine with that. LaShawn Galloway is a 73 overall. That's good, really solid. Late 1st round pick. A little bit worried about those finesse ratings, but I feel like when our left tackle's contract runs out at the end of the year, he might be startable. James Bautista is a 73 overall with really solid athleticism. He can stop the run right off the bat, not worried at all. 66 zone is good enough. And then Jerome Tompkins, another 72 overall here, not great. He looks even better than Orlando Daniels. He didn't to me when I drafted those, but he has 82 power moves right off the bat. 82, that's really good. And then another disappointment, 2nd round pick JT Lindsay. That zone coverage is really bad. I'm afraid that was a D, and I mean, when I picked him, I kind of was like, okay, if it's a C, I'm fine. If it's a B, good. Sadly, was a D. And then Markel Phillips, 65 overall, 71 block shed, 71 power moves. I thought at a B, that power moves was going to be a lot higher. Like, I was guessing like 78 or something. So that's disappointing. But 7th round pick, Deontay Barkley. He looks really good to me. Those catching ratings are not great, but they're also not horrible. And he can run some routes. And he can juke and spin some people out. Like, this guy's good. This guy's going to be golden in his first season as a kick returner. And then who knows what happens here too. Let's look at everybody else. Alex Dobson, 96 throw power. And really good accuracies across the board. This guy is going to be golden. He's also, by the way, 80 overall, was the best player in the entire draft class. Derek Beasley, 73 overall. I did not expect that he was going to be this low of an overall. I was like, this is going to be a 77 guy. And this guy is also 73. And I was like, this guy should, like, in my opinion, just from looking at this guy's draft profile, he looked to me like the best player in the entire draft class apart from quarterback Dobson. So that's a little bit disappointing. Ben Amaro. Oh, and imagine if I had traded up for Dave Williams. That would have been ridiculous. Ben Amaro looks solid. 75 overall, 80 finesse moves, 72 block shed. He's gonna be good. Luke Taylor. I told ya. He's not the guy. 82 short accuracy. He doesn't even have any speed. Like, he's just a pure pocket passer without a great arm and average accuracies. Josh Branch. He looks a lot better. And he has hidden dev. Great arm, 93 throw power, but yeah, he also, by the way, has like 84 speed or something, so he's gonna be good as well. And then the next one at 7 was Paul Morris, 23-year-old edge rusher. Good, like really good strength, and but he's a pure run stopper right now. Like, he can't rush the passer. Michael Clifford, 77 overall, the second best player in the draft. I cannot believe it. 83 power moves. That's only one better than Jerome Tompkins and 4 better than Orlando Daniels. So it's not that much better. And then Nick McAllister, the middle linebacker, 90 speed, 89 excel. We knew he was going to be good. He does not have a weakness. Even that zone coverage, 65 right off the bat, is fine. He's gonna be solid. Bobby Spriggs, also 23 years old, and his first step is really slow. For a speed rusher, his first step is really slow, but we'll see. Tim Lawton. I did not look at receivers at all in the first like 4 rounds. This guy is really good. 90 speed, 90 acceleration, really good catching ratings, and the route runnings are workable. But there is an even better receiver that I really liked as well. I would have picked him if I didn't have like 6 receivers already. Raphael Goings is the new franchise quarterback after Matthew Stafford retires. Matthew Stafford is still playing, but I think Goings is going to overtake him this season. And Rams got a new franchise quarterback. Eric Barber, a pure nose tackle. He's really good, 91 strength and 76 blocks, 78 block shedding. He's a really good run stopper, but I didn't look for a run stopper. I wasn't looking for a run stopper. And then Damian Howard, the best corner, apparently projected. I knew he was not going to be the best corner. This guy is the best corner. 76 overall, 4th best player in the entire draft class. Can you believe it? I missed out on a 76 overall corner. Man, this is unbelievable. I cannot believe I missed out on him. James Sheard, 73 overall. To be fair, looking at the block shedding, the power moves, and the finesse moves, this guy is not better than Daniels or Tompkins. So I'm fine not having him picked. Keenan Brown, he has hidden dev. That's a different story. But also looking, block shedding is 70, power moves is 71. My 2 defensive tackles are better. Definitely. He has a little bit more strength here, but my pass rushers are better at pass rushing right now. Dennis Gilliam. Tua is apparently done here. They picked him. They picked Gilliam here because Tua does not have the franchise quarterback trait anymore. So they are starting over at quarterback, I guess. And this is, in my opinion, the best receiver in this draft class. He has really good athleticism, a really good route runner, knows how to catch a football, and he can run after the catch. This is the best receiver in the draft class. Blair Izzo. He was picked, I think, 19, 20, 23, something like that. 91 speed, 88 excel, 66 zone coverage. Looks fine. Better even than Nick McAllister, in my opinion. Joe Gleason, one of those other tackles who has 83 strength without the boost. That is not enough for a tackle, in my opinion. but he would have been the best just pure pass protector. The strength is just not gonna cut it. And then the Seahawks picked a really good tight end. Like, this guy looks scary. 87 speed at tight end, that looks really good. Chad Cochran, he was 23 years old and his zone coverage sucked. So I didn't even look at him at all. Apparently that was a mistake because he's apparently a 75 overall corner. I don't know where it comes from, but his zone coverage is horrible. Next corner, Tony Poole, 6'2", 199, 23 years old. Yeah, I think he would have been the best option for me after I missed out on Duval. Compared to JT Lindsay, at least he's a lot better. Rayshawn Anthony, really good tight end for the Rams. So they've got a new quarterback and a new tight end in the building. They still have Cooper Kupp. This offense could get scary if Raphael Goings gets it going. Eric Farley, the first pick of the second round, looks incredible to me. He is not great at coverage, but his pure run stopping is awesome. And I am not scared to admit that the Jets had a great draft here. Nick Goodrich, 91 speed, 88 excel, 67 zone coverage. This is the one guy that got picked right before we traded up for Bautista. So we're gonna compare those two, but I think Goodrich is a little bit better. Wesley Aiken, didn't look for a safety at all. We have our two starting safeties. There is no need to pick anybody, but really rangy, knows how to hit, and solid coverages across the board. Michael Murphy, next pick directly after him, 76 overall, really rangy as well, 96 hit power. This guy is going to be a Derwin James replacement. DJ Ballard. This is the biggest whiff I had in this series. 77 overall. And like 90 strength, 80 block shit, and still 71 power moves. Like, this guy is so good, and I did not see it in his profile. I didn't think he was going to be this good. Victor Porter, 72 overall. I really liked him, but I didn't need him. 6'3" corner, he's an outside corner all the way, and there's just no space on our roster for a guy like him, but I would have loved to pick him up. Dwight Carl, 92 strength, but he is very raw as a run stopper and a pass rusher. So I am happy to have picked my two guys over him. Anton Sutton, the Heisman winning wide receiver, 91 speed, 95 excel, great catching and catching traffic, bats back catch, horrible route runner. Lance Birch, 74 overall. Yeah, I was like, Birch and Lindsay look kind of like the same player, but Birch is a lot better, so I whiffed here as well. Not as big as Ballard versus Tompkins, but oh, I whiffed on Lance Birch here. Keenan Fraser, solid safety, 75 overall here. He knows how to hit, he knows how to play coverage. That's good enough. Ralph Woodard, another good safety. I feel like I had no idea the safety class was this good until I looked at these ratings. Like, these guys are so good, I can't believe it. And then another whiff on my part. It's not a real whiff because I didn't pick another guard. I just didn't pick any guard at all, and I would have had to pay probably like a future 2 and 4 to trade up there, and I didn't want to do it. But this is the actual whiff here, because I knew that the first guard was going to be good, but I didn't know that Kendrick and Northcutt was going to be this good. He looks really solid. And then there's another good guard, Hidden Dev even, for the Bills. This guy was not on my board though, because 83 strength is just not enough. At guard, no way. I'm not playing. This guy might be a center, but this is not good enough at guard. 83 strength. And 85 strength here. That's like right on the edge. I guess you can live with it, but yeah. Let's take a look at the AFC South draft. The Colts, they got both the good defensive tackles. They had the number 2 and 3 players in the entire draft class. I could not believe it when I saw this. And then they pick up a 72 overall corner in the 4th round. It's like they're taunting me. They took away the 2 good defensive tackles and they got a good corner, a better corner than Lindsay 2 rounds later than I did. Oh my god, that's just embarrassing. And then the Jaguars, they did pick up Dave Williams. I'm still convinced he's a good player. He's just, his overall doesn't reflect it really. I feel like he's just one of those more raw players, but once the first season is done, he's going to be really good. And then they also picked up a running back who is really solid across the board. Like, he can do everything. And they also picked up Nick Goodrich, the middle linebacker. So my divisional rivals are taunting me here. And then the Titans, they did ridiculous stuff. They picked a running back in the 1st round. Don't need any running backs on their team. But he's good, but he's not going to see the field a whole lot. And yeah, because that was not enough of a miss in the 1st round. Like, they could have picked up a lot more like a lot better players. They picked up a backup quarterback in the 2nd round. That was not worth it at all, but at least they got back some value in the 4th round on a corner here that has some solid athleticism, but that's just not startable right now. Backup though. And yeah, the rest is nothing really special. Let's jump over to interesting draft classes around the league. So the Bills, they got James Sheard. I'm happy to have picked my 2 defensive tackles over James Sheard. Gilliard, I knew that he was going to be a good running back, but do you need a running back, really? Dennis Wilkins is the guard with the low strength, 83 strength. It's just not enough for me. So, but like, I mean, I guess they got a good draft class here. And then the Broncos, they got themselves a franchise left tackle, even though he's not as high of an overall as I thought. They got themselves another option at quarterback. I'm kind of blanking on who the quarterback is right now. I think it's Russell Wilson. So I think they had to pick a new guy because Wilson is kind of falling off. And then they got a defensive tackle that I wasn't really excited about at all. And then the Chargers also had a solid draft class. Kind of a whiff in the 1st round here on Morris, a pure run stopper at number 7 overall, but they got it back with a safety and a really good guard in the 2nd and 3rd round. And yeah, props to them. Dennis Gilliam is the 1st round pick, and then they got one of the good safeties here, the Dolphins, and another good guard in the 3rd round. So they had a couple of good players here. And then they also picked up a 6th round receiver, 70 overall. The 49ers, they picked up Ben Amaro, they got Wesley Aiken, and then they got a solid receiver in the 3rd round, and a really good, like, compared to, like, you get a 70 overall defensive tackle in the 5th round, you're going to be happy with that. So they got a good draft as well. Best draft class in the league though, easily. Franchise quarterback, and then a really good linebacker. And because that wasn't enough, they get Jalil Goings, a really solid receiver, good athlete, knows how to catch the football, like this kid, and they just continued to get a little bit of value in the late rounds as well. And the Packers also had a good draft. 1st round tackle that had 81 strength, by the way, not on my board. And then they got one of the good safeties and a good linebacker as well. And then in the 6th round, they got a 70 overall receiver that I also liked. Christian Bacon was on my board. I just didn't get a chance to pick him. He was gone before I picked in the 6th round. And then the Rams get a quarterback, they get a good tight end, and they get a really good defensive tackle that I didn't have any idea existed. And then they get a tight end that I liked in the 3rd round here with Anthony Macklin, like that kid as well. And then the Seahawks, Good draft as well. Get the best tight end. Get an okay defensive tackle. 84 strength. Not great, but... And then they get a wide receiver. 74 overall, Josh Miller. Good athlete. Knows how to catch the football. And get a couple more good players in the 6th and 7th round. Yeah, this is the big whiff. It's Matthew Duval. 76 overall. They also get a new quarterback, so I guess they are done with... what's his name? I'm blanking here as well. They get a good receiver in the 3rd round. Looks solid. Let's take a quick look at our team, and then we're out of here. I don't know if I'm going to do the preseason this time around, but we'll see. Angelo Mendoza is the quarterback. No questions about that. Dakota McKenzie is going to be the running back. There might be a trade with Travis Etienne here. I don't feel like we need him. McKenzie is just a starter. And if we need a receiving back, we have Rashard Forbes. So I'm good with that. Justin Ross is going to be the number 1. AJ Lincoln is going to be the slot. Devian Davenport is going to be the number 2. And then I guess, yeah, Matthew Thierry is the better athlete. So he's going to be the backup to the outside receivers and to AJ Lincoln. And then we'll see how De'Ami Brown and Deontay Barkley fit in there. Diego Cordova is going to be the tight end number 1. No surprise there. We've got Jelani Woods as the tight end number 2. That's good. We have Jedrick Wills, whose contract is about to run out this season, I think. So it's good that we got LaShawn Galloway in the building. But we also have another backup tackle, by the way. You'll see in just a second. We have Kenyon Green at left guard. That's fine. He's under contract for a long time. Eric McCoy, we need to find somebody for the middle there for the future, but for now it's fine. Springs at right guard, and then Wirfs at right tackle. He has a long-term contract. He's not going to go anywhere soon, but Stephen Greenberry, the backup tackle here, he might also be an option to go to left guard. And then we have Matthew Starks, 81 overall, Ryan Springs, 84 overall. A couple of backups that are not really worth mentioning. And then we have BJ Hill and Grover Stewart. Got them in free agency. And now three defensive tackles that I drafted and a UDFA. We have Stallworth. He's going to be definitely on the field a lot. Tompkins and Daniels kind of have to fight it out here. We'll see how I'm going to approach this. There might even be a chance I trade away one of the top 2 defensive tackles, but we're set at that position now. Especially because the top 2 defensive tackles are both on 1-year contracts. Linebackers, Jamie Cantu, Chris Portillo. His name escaped me earlier. If one of those guys demands too much money, I think we're going to be set with James Bautista as a 3rd linebacker. He's a run stopper right now, and that's good because that's what we needed. For a 4-3, he's going to be the 3rd linebacker on 1st and 2nd down if we go base. And he's going to be off the field in 3rd down situations. Alex Day, Derek Stingley on the outside. We have Kenny Moore on the inside. I might trade away Desmond King, maybe. We'll see. And then we have Avery Saunders, JT Lindsay, and a UDFA I picked up. Caleb Burgess, free safety, and Byron Redmond is the strong safety. No questions there. And then Kaimi Fairbairn, still the kicker, 98 kick power. And then Corey Bojorquez, a 97 kick power punter. Signed him newly to the team. And that's it. I am excited about the season coming up. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. And that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more Texans franchise. See you in the next episode. Until then, have a great day.